So I think the entire discussion so far is about a time value of money, interest computation, simple interest and compound interest. Once we learned SI and CI, our major discussion next was how do you work out in SI, the formula in SI, formula in CI. Students post the CI, we worked out P, we worked out A, we worked out CI, we worked out difference between SI and CI, we worked out nominal versus effective rate of interest, worked out half yearly, quarterly, monthly computation. How do you work N? Is it using logarithm or using calculator and your options? It is through calculator and options. Post that we discussed about I told you one hint. If it is more descriptive, it is more time consuming. In multiple choice is damn easy. So you have to know how do you go through by the options. After that, we learned instead of investing in machinery, what if instead of investing in bank, what if we invest in a machinery? How it's going to happen? So we learned about depreciation and various factors. SLM follows straight line method follows fast with logic. SI, WDV follows compound interest. Instead of plus, instead of adding I, you have to deduct the I. That is plus earlier, now it is minus. We worked out annuity. I told you an example. Your elder brother born and 1 lakh was deposited into bank for 20 years. When you born, your dad got much more excited and happy and started depositing 10,000 every year and for 18 years. And this your case is more complicated in the discussion of annuity. So it has to be worked out compound interest quite oftenly and for 18 years. That's where that complicated compound interest where periodical payments are there, we call it as what? First, what do we call it? What do we call it? No response? Yeah, you're okay. Super. It is annuity. Annuity of 4 categories: certain, contingent, deferred, perpetuity. Certain is of 2 category. Hello, hello. Some response from you. Annuity certain is of 2 category. What are the 2 category? One is regular, period ending. Every period beginning is due or immediate. And we worked out formula on that. Value of an annuity. You invest 10,000 in the 10,000, 10,000 3 times. What after third year? What after nth year? That is called as future value of annuity. The 10,000, 10,000, 10,000 next 3 years. But today, how much is that value altogether? We call it as present value of annuity. In future value, there are 2 formulae again: annuity regular, annuity immediate or due. Present value can be annuity regular, annuity immediate or due. So this is all our basic learning in that. Today, we will discuss what if that annuity is forever. What do we call it? If it is for ever continuous annuity where there is no n given to you, we call it as annuity. What? Hello, hello, annuity. If it is continuous annuity, perpetuity. Excellent. Students, today's discussion is about working out continuous annuity or perpetual annuity. Annuity, perpetuity. Uh, Let me take an example. Hope all of you have calculator with you. Assume a college or a trust decides college decides to have to provide a scholarship amount of rupees 10,000 every year. If that is there, 10,000 every year for n number of years. Students, assume the interest rate is 10% per annum. Can you tell me how much should the trust should have today? It's present value, right? Not future value. We apply a formula called P by I. So 10,000 calculator divided by I is 0.5, 0.10, 10% is 0.10. 10,000 scholarship amount. Every year 0.1, the interest rate is 0.10. I repeat again to get got confused, I believe. Periodical, every year scholarship is 10,000. Interest rate is 10% of 0.10. So you have to do P by I, 10,000 divided by 0.10. Quick, I want to check your answers first in the calculator. Okay, 1 lakh, super. This formula, if you relook once again, 10,000 by 0.1, 1 lakh, that I agree. Please note, 1 lakh is the present value. If your college or trust has 1 lakh rupee today, is it sufficient to provide 10,000 every year for n number of years? 1 lakh, 10,000, how many years? First, 1 lakh if you have, you can provide that scholarship 10,000 every year for how many years? Obviously 10 years. How come it becomes for perpetual? Logic is not like that. Logic should be like this. Listen here. Assume in the year beginning, if you have 1 lakh rupee with you, listen carefully, in the trust, don't keep with you. Take that 1 lakh and put into a bank, Canara Bank. You know that yesterday they have celebrated the with the founders, as a founders day they celebrated yesterday. All right, after so many years, Canara Bank has evolved. Come back here, 10,000 every year. For how many years, I was asking you? 1 lakh is the amount, right? 1 lakh is the amount. And 1 lakh for 10 years, what you told, you should do this way. 1 lakh you put into bank. Banker gives you 10% per annum every year. So 1 lakh rupee, 10%, year end, what interest you get? 1 lakh into 10%, 10,000. Take out that interest and give it as a scholarship. So what is your deposit in the bank? Still 1 lakh. Next year again you get 10,000 income, give it to the scholarship. Like that, it is for perpetual. Hope all of you understood what the perpetual concept is about. If you have 1 lakh today, that is sufficient to provide you 10,000 every year for infinite years, because that income is equal to the scholarship amount. Interest is equal to the scholarship amount. Is that clear to all of you? Okay. There is another formula called perpetual growth. Let me assume the first year 10,000. Next year it is 5% more. Probably next year they believe that it is 10,000 is not sufficient. Assume 5% more. All of you use calculator. 10,000 plus 5%. How much is it? 10,500. Super. Third year again 10,500, again 5% more. The growth 5% is there on that money every time. No. 10,500 plus 5%. All of you have to do whatever I said. 10,500 plus 5%. It's 11,025. And it goes on. Don't you think in this case, your money, what you are having today, can it be 1 lakh or it be more than 1 lakh? You are getting, your banker is giving only 10,000. That 1 lakh ka 10%, 10,000. But your perpetual growth is more. You have to pay more amount. Then it is not sufficient, right? That's why you should have how much annuity. There what we will do, P by I minus G. I means interest rate, G means growth rate. Let us try, all of you work it out. Let all of us try it once again. So your deposit is how much? Our present money how much? Annual scholarship starting year 10,000 divided by interest rate is 10% minus growth rate is 5%. Can you calculate 10% minus 5%? How much is the denominator? 5%. So use calculator. 10,000 divided by 10% minus 5%, which is nothing but 5%. How do you do it? 10,000 divided by 5% is in decimal 0.05. So your last answer, 10,000 divided by 0.05. Fast. Earlier case, 1 lakh would have been sufficient. If there is a perpetual growth in that money, that 10,000 scholarship increases by 5% every year, then you should not have just 1 lakh. That is not sufficient. There is a growth in that annuity. Then you have to apply P by I minus G. That is annuity divided by, annuity is periodical payment, first year payment, divided by I is interest rate, G is growth rate. Student, with all this, we discussed two important concepts to all of you. Can you glance what are the two important concepts we glance? First thing we learned, what is the first one? The first point was, how do you work out present value of annuity perpetuity? There is no future value here. It's only present value. If you ask why, see, as it progresses, the n is not defined. You should know how much money we should have at present. So it is the present value of annuity perpetuity. It is P divided by I. Point one. If that annuity, if there is a growth, If there is a growth, then we have to apply P by I, small letter I minus small letter G. P is what? Fast. What is P? Quick. P represents what? I want you to repeat 100 times so that you will never forget in your life. P is equal to what? I will not tell. Installment. Very good. Purvi Shetty. Any other names? Okay. Periodic payment. Anisha P. Any other name? Installment. Okay. Annuity. Okay. It is Jitin. Okay. Super. So I used 3 words throughout. Again, I'm using P, which is periodic payment or annuity or installment. Excellent. What is I represents? What is I represents here? Interest rate per. No response from you. Fast. Interest rate per. Interest rate per annum or per month or per installment? You have to tell me. Is it per annum? Is it per month? No. It depends on the question. Interest rate per installment in decimal. That you know it. Okay. Now we use one more small letter called G, which is extra in this topic. It is called growth rate in decimal again. 5%, 2%. Some growth rate they give it. Growth rate again in decimal. Okay. That's all. Again, this is all the concepts which you have to note it, and we will work out problems based on this. So students, I'm moving one step ahead today. It is about working out the present value of annuity perpetuity. After this, we are going to use this time value of money, this technique, whatever we learned so far from the beginning till here, basically the interest, annuity, workout, etc. We want to check how exactly works in the financial world, commercial world. Example, I want to buy a machine. Today you pay some amount, but its benefit will come in next 3 years or 4 years. Let us take it. Whether you should go for that machine or not, what we typically call in the finance world as capital budgeting. All of you have to repeat with me. All of you have to type there. What do we call it? What do we call it? Capital budgeting. Can you repeat along with me? Boys and girls, where are you? Yes, it's a new word altogether. Okay. I will split this, just a brief. In detail you learn in the intermediate. I'm very excited to teach you exactly at 1 year down the line. You are in the intermediate and I want to teach you capital budgeting. Are you interested? Yes, super. If it is so, first you have to clear CA foundation, right? Excellent. Okay. This word has 2 parts, capital budgeting. What are the 2 parts? It's an important chapter. Believe it or not, 20 marks comes to you in the CA intermediate, 25 marks. This chapter alone. Which chapter? Capital budgeting. Again in the CA final, you have this chapter again. Another 25-30 marks. You can't afford to miss at all. Excellent. Students, capital budgeting has 2 answers. One is capital, another one is budget. Very interestingly, if you look at that example, I told we will buy the machine today. We are going to buy the machine today, or there's an option to decide. If you buy, you have to pay some amount today, say 1 lakh. Its benefits will be 40, 30, let us consider 50. 40,000, 30,000, 50,000. At an outset, it looks to you, I pay 1 lakh. Benefit will be 40, 30, 50. How much altogether? 1,20,000. It's good. No, we should buy it. No, there is a lot of things which you have to discuss in this chapter. But finally, you are planning. Budgeting means planning. Listen carefully. Budgeting means planning. Planning your capital means capital expenditure. Hello. Capital cost. So there are 2 things. Planning your capital expenditure. Planning your capital expenditure is an important one. No, when you any capital expenditure, basically it is fixed asset, building, plant, machinery, or it could be land, etc. When you go for this, is a huge amount invested. You need to know its benefits. You cannot change it. You buy a pen, if you don't want, you can change tomorrow. You can go for a new one. Assume you bought let us consider a new building for crores together, and you say that tomorrow I don't want this building. Is that easy? No, you cannot sell it easily. So there are so many things are involved. Huge money is invested. When you spend more money, more tensions are there. That's why you have to plan it very well. You have to do calculations. Even here, this time value of money comes in. Are you there with me? Here, time value of money comes in. Can you guess why it is time value of money comes in? In that example, 1 lakh you have to spend today, but benefits will come in next 3 years. It's not same. Time points are different. You have to apply your logic of interest, annuity, etc., which I am going to discuss to you later. This is where in the new syllabus it's included little more than what was there in the CPT. You need to understand the time value of money, its extension to your financial management. That's why this chapter carries to you 35 to 40% in the new syllabus. Okay, it's very interesting. Whatever you learn, you have to apply it, and I have some lot of things to tell you. The last part, this all after learning about your present value of annuity perpetuity. The last part 4, I call it, that is called as decision making, which I'm going to take it today, and probably tomorrow we are going to end that topic. So that tomorrow is the last part of this entire discussion. Some of you are asking, is it easy or difficult? Nothing is difficult when we are discussing. Why it is difficult? It is more interesting. Your question should be, is easy or difficult? No, it's very easy. You have to understand concept. One thing I want to tell all wonderful students who are a part of this entire chartered accountancy course is a concept building process. It is not a by heart process. You have to understand why it is so. Anything you can crack. Trust me, if you get the super foundation here, in the foundation course, if you make your foundation very strong, your excitement in the intermediate will be very high. And when you do this, your final will be, you will do like this, and you don't have to worry. Yeah, I think, as it progresses, it becomes very interesting. I'll just pause that all your, see a final intermediate question a little later. I will come back to the discussion part. So we have discussed so far about present value of annuity perpetuity, and the later part I will be entering into a part called as a decision making, where it is related to capital budgeting, which comes to you in the intermediate level or in the final level. That's all. So whatever I told you, the formula, can all of you write down once again in your notebook, so that you'll be able to recollect? Okay, we were actually in the last class, we were discussed about this. I think you have to work out and let me know what was the answer for your working in this case, hire purchase system. Any guess what was the answer? Voice is lagging. Okay, now audible. Okay, so your working should have been present value of annuity. It is regular. You have to apply P by I 1 minus 1 over 1 plus I to the power n. I'm just giving you some tips to you. P is 2000 per month divided by 0.09 per annum, 0.09 divided by per annum, 0.09 divided by 12 you should do. So you will get 0.0075, dear. Is it that correct? It's not future value, it is present value. 0.0075, 1 minus 1.0075 every month for 2 years, so it is 24. What is the answer you will get here? Anyone worked out? 2000 divided by 0.0075. Reduce this. Correct again. 0.0075 and 1 minus 1.0075 to the power 24. You have multiple answers. Present value of annuity perpetuity you have to do. No, last answer 2000 divided by 0.0075, 1 minus 1.0075 to the power 24. So what is this answer? Everyone got 43,778. Super. You will get 43,778. That is before the down payment. Is it before the down payment or after the down payment? Is it 33,770, 778 you get here? Okay. For that you have to add down payment. Have you added down payment? Okay. So this gives you 33,778. Whether all of you agree with me? 33,778 plus down payment of 10,000. Final answer comes to no. Oh, this answer is 43. Yeah? Okay. Now, this computation gives what answer? You let me know. 2000 divided by 0.0075 and 1 minus 1.0075 to the power 24, it will give you 43,778. For that, you have to add down payment. What is the down payment? 10,000. So 53,778, almost 54,000 is the value of the bike. Cost of the bike is 53,778. There are other questions which is posed here. What is hire purchase? What does it mean? Which all you have to work. I will discuss in the some other discussion. I will be back here with the present value of annuity. Okay. I was mentioning to you present value of annuity perpetuity. All of you write in your notebook. Present value of annuity perpetuity formula P by I. Periodical payment divided by interest rate per installment. Okay. Let us look at the question here. Question goes this way: how much money should I provide, how much money I should have today so that the cost of the hospital bill of rupees 50,000 can be paid every year to a poor patient if money is worth 10% per annum. You have after completing your course and you become a professional, you are working somewhere and you wanted to do some charity, and what you decided that every year 50,000 rupees of the hospital bill you will pay for a poor patient every year. You made a resolution and every year you are going to pay 50,000. 1 year 50,000 poor patient bill. And if money is worth 10%, your money whatever you are paying, that value worthiness, the interest rate is 10%. Question asked you is how much you should have today in order to provide that money in future. What money you should have today? If you have how much rupees, you can pay that 50,000 every year for n number of years. You know the formula. There is no n. One thing you note: how do you decide a present perpetuity? They don't give n. N is not given here. They don't give at all because it's perpetual. Someone is saying that can't hear me. Is that so? All of you are able to hear me? Chirayu Shetty says she can't hear me. Yes, okay. Can't hear me or you can? Yes, okay. So I will do P by I. P is periodically you have to pay 50,000. I is 0.10. GGB question. 50,000 divided by 0.10, 5 lakh. Simple question to you. Okay. So last answer 5 lakh. Is that clear to all of you? So how much you should have today so that you can provide that in perpetuity? 5 lakh. Correct answer. This problem is related to present value of annuity perpetuity. PVA infinity. Okay. So correct answer B. B for Bharat. Shall we go further? There's an interesting question here. 39th question. This question has come similar to you in the previous exam. A person desired to endo a bed in a hospital. I repeat, a person desires to endo a bed in a hospital. The cost, which is rupees 4,500 per annum. Money is worth 3% per annum. How much should he invest? This is an interesting question. Just like earlier, this is the first part of the question. And also you have other questions to answer here. He also desires to provide for the building a ward at a cost of rupees 36,000. and provide periodical repairs costing 5% of the value a year on the average, what should be the total endowment? Okay, have you understood this question? Have you understood? All of you read. No one will help you other than what is there in the question. So all of you read the question. Shall we read once again? Yes, no, single letter. Yes, single letter you type. Yes, no. All of you are able to hear my voice. Yes, super. So shall I repeat the question? What it says? Let me read that first part of the question. A person desired to endow. A person desired to make an amount which will cost hospital at the cost of 4,500 per annum. He would like to donate to the hospital where every year 4,500. 4,500 not once, no, it is per annum. If money is worth 3% per annum, how much should he invest? If you have how much rupee today, you can provide to a hospital 4,500 every year. Just like earlier I told, you wanted to decide to pay some, the cost of the hospital bill of 50,000 every year. Like that, here 4,000 every year, and the money is worth 3%. How much you should invest? Okay, shall we do it? Part one. There are two questions to answer here. Your idea. So first question is P by I. What is P is about? P value, all of you are able to make out, 4,500 divided by 0.03. Response from you quickly. First answer 4,500. Your calculators are working, I believe. 4,500 divided by 0.03. You are so silent sometimes. What is the answer? 1,50,000. Nishu Kumari. Whether all of you got? Excellent. Super. Shall we continue then? Okay. Second one. He also desires to provide for the building a ward at cost of 36,000. There is a ward, there is a room. He would like to provide a cost of the ward 36,000. Construction, whatever, that small room, he would like to provide 36,000. Is it every year? Not given. 36,000 once. So I will consider that as first one is about cost of bed. First one, endo a bed, cost of bed per annum. So 1,50,000 he should have. He also would like to have cost of ward. It is not per annum, no. Ward you will construct, that room you construct only once. Okay. Vasudev Pai, sir, we are not silent, we are writing. Okay, excellent. Not silent, violent. Okay, no problem. No, there are many times it so happens in the regular classroom, students are violent. In virtual, they are all silent. All right. Prabhuji, you are laughing. Okay. All right. Cost of word. How much is the cost of the word? Cost of the word, how much? Some response from you to check whether you are there with me. Okay. Excellent. Anisha, Haripriya, excellent. It is there in the question. Please answer to me. Is it every year or only once? Once. So that's all. I don't have to do P by I. This is 2. Also, that word, maybe painting, repair, maintenance, you would like to provide repair cost, periodical repairs. Tell me, is it once or every time repair will happen? You have to respond to me. Boys and girls. Once, okay. They said periodical repairs. Obviously, maintenance and repair should be every time, right? Every time. So, I will consider this cost of repairs. Can you tell me, should I write 5? It says 5% of the cost of the word. 5% of the value. Provide periodical repairs there to costing 5% of the value a year. Value means cost of the word. 5% of 36,000, which is equal to 1,800. Should I write once or 1,800 every year? Tell me. 1,800 once or every year? You have to answer. I will not respond. Every year. Sure, no? All of you are sure, no? because periodical repairs, and they said costing 5% of the value a year on the average, every year on an average that much that is coming every year. So what I should do? What I should do? I cannot write straight away every year. So how much money you should have today? Every year. So I have to take it is P by I is 0.03, calculator. 1800 divided by 0.03. What is your answer? 1800 divided by 0.03. Quick. 60,000. Super. They asked you what should be the total value of endowment. Okay. It means to say, listen carefully. I know some of you did not get the ideas. I'll repeat again. First part, that fellow who would like to donate or you want to make the payment, he created an endowment fund for that such donations. He says he will pay cost of the bed, which is 4,500 every year. That is not once, it is per annum. So if at all he wants to pay that cost of the bed, that means the patient bill every year, that is 4,500. How much money you should have today? Obviously, that is simple. 4,500 divided by 0.03, you got 1,50,000. Please let me know, are you clear with this at least working, first part of the working? Yes. Unfortunately, if that was the case, you would have been very happy, but they have continued. The second 1,50,000 is there in everywhere. That is another problem. I have to go further step. What are the further steps? Further steps are, he would like to provide cost of the ward. He would like to provide a cost of the ward. It means there is a building construction he is doing, and he wants to contribute to that particular ward. Could be cancer patient ward, or it could be male ward, female ward, labor ward, etc. One room particularly you want to provide. How much is the amount? It's clearly given. It is a cost of rupees 36,000. Cost of rupees how much? 36,000. 36,000 not every year, only once you construct it. So this is next category. Only once. So why I should do P by I? No logic. So for the patient bed cost, he has to pay to make an every year payment. He should have 1,50,000 today. To provide for that building construction cost of the ward, that will be 36,000, very clearly given. And he would like to provide a periodical repairs. Periodical repairs on what? Obviously on building, no, on the construction, not on the cost of the bed. Only on the construction part, which is 5% of the value. 5% of which value? 36,000. 5% of 36,000 comes to how much to you? 1,800. Is it once or every year? Cost of repairs every year per annum. So I have to know every year you want to provide that repair cost. How much you should have? 1,800 divided by the rate money worth. You cannot take 0.05 in a hurry. You have to take 0.03 only. Everywhere same interest rate. So it will come to you 60,000. So you have to add all the three. What are the three things you add? 1,50,000 plus 36,000 plus 60,000. Add it. Tell me the last answer. 2,46,000. If you do this and this calculation alone, you get 2,10,000. If you add all the three, you get 2,40,000. They asked you what is the total endowment. Total money should be 2,46,000. So not this at all. This also wrong, because 2,10,000 is only the addition of first and the last. Cost of the ward is to be also be taken. So all put together, it should be 2,46,000. Answer choice D. Answer choice D. It is not matching with any of this. Let me go to the next one. None. In this case, it is none of this. Yes. Okay. I was mentioning to you the example of scholarship. What if that scholarship increases every time? That's the question. I told you how to apply I minus G. The denominator, you have to be careful. Mushraf Mangalore has a doubt. Why it is 1800 by 3%? Okay. 1800 is correct, but the periodical repairs, I will work out this part once again, Mushraf. We will do here. 1800, whether you understood? Musharraf, please let me know whether you understood the 1800 part. Yes, okay. But is it once or every year? Is it once or every year? Repair payment, is it once or every year? 5% of the value on an average. They say in the question, please refer what they say in the question. It is a periodical repairs. Do you agree, Mushraf? It is a periodical repairs. Every year you have to pay the repairs money. Tell me, is it once or every year? Is it once or every year, Mushraf? Every year. So I should do P by I. Periodical repair 1800 we got. I is interest rate, money is worth how much? 0.03. That's why I did 1800 divided by 0.03, which will give you 60,000. Okay. Tanish Uchil, what is that 1,50,000? There are two questions in this, Tanish. First question they are asking you is, what should he invest to pay the cost of the, to endow a bed, in order to pay the cost of the bed, means patient bill, in order to pay that, what should be his amount? That amount is 1,50,000. First answer is here. Second answer, total value is what? Total value should be 2,46,000. So two questions are there, so you should have two answers. Excellent. Students, shall I go further then? Next one. There is a question here. Okay, I was explaining to you it is P by I minus G. If you remember that example, can all of you let me know that example? What is the scholarship amount every year? First, how much amount we discussed that time? 10,000. Just write, all of you write in your notebook, scholarship amount 10,000. What is the if you invest that any money in the bank, what banker rate of interest? It is 10%. That scholarship amount, if it remains same, 10,000 by 0.10. But the scholarship amount what you provide, you would like to increase, you would like to grow it by what percentage? Every year that much scholarship amount is not sufficient up to 15, 20, 30 years. You want to increase it 5%. If this is the case, how do you do the answer? That's what I told you, 10,000 by I minus G. Please refer here the formula, I minus G, 0.10 minus 0.05. Finally, 10,000 divided by 0.05. Last answer, will you get 2 lakh? Will you get rupees 2 lakh? Will you get 2 lakh? If at all you want to give that scholarship every year, you want to give the scholarship every year, and the scholarship amount increases by 5%, and banker interest rate is 10%, how much money your trust, college trust, they should have today, so that they can do like that? They should have 2 lakh rupees. Hope all of you clear with this. Right, all of you write this. All of you just write one sentence. More details of this topic, more details of this topic will come in CA Inter. More details of this topic will come in CA Inter. Put dash FM, financial management. Put dash, you write 2 chapters, it is going to come. Cost of capital and dividend policy. Cost of capital and dividend policy. In financial management, in the intermediate, you have one topic called cost of capital, and you have one chapter called dividend. You know, dividend company will pay. This particular formula again it comes there. Hope that we'll be able to discuss to you this all discussion in the next year after completing CA interim foundation course. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So here the answer is 2 lakh. So let us look at one question here in this. Assuming the discount rate is 7% per annum. Are you there with me? 40th question. Discount rate is 7% per annum. How much should you pay? How much would you pay to receive rupees 50? How much would you pay to receive 50 growing at 5% annually forever? The question is you would like to receive 50 rupee, and that 50 rupee will increase by 5% every year. If that is the case, discount rate is a very interesting word. No, you got something called you call it as simply interest rate. Money is worth is 7%. If that is the case, how much money you should have today? How much would you pay to that in order to get some what money? If you pay today right now, every year 50 plus 5% plus 5% plus 5% it goes on. Okay, solution. Can you help me? Formula. Can all of you help me? What is the formula? Is it P by I or I minus G? There is a growth rate, no? So I will write P by I minus G. Substitute what is P? Periodically you want to receive what money? Quick. What money? Numerator. Hello, all of you are there. Where are you, boys and girls? 50 rupees. Excellent. I interest rate, discount rate 0.07 minus growth rate every year that 50 rupee to increase by 5%, 0.05. 50 divided by 0.02. First, your answer 2500. Super. So your right answer choice is B. Correct answer choice is B. Correct answer is B. So this problem is related to which one? Can anyone guess? This problem is related to, can you write there? Present value of annuity, growth perpetuity. Annuity, growth or growing perpetuity. There's heading given, no? Growing perpetuity. Present value of growing perpetuity. So students, we learnt all that part 3. Part 3 is all about annuity. Before I go to the next part, which is very important part, you all have to tell me what and all you learned in the topic of annuity. Quickly, I will tell you, or you I will tell you or write in your chat box. All of you are there, and all together you write and then pose on me. Is that okay? So that I can confidently go for the fourth part. Super. So all of you start typing. First we learned is annuity and classification. Do you all agree? Okay. Classification, you know, annuity, certain, contingent, deferred, perpetuity. Next we learned classification of annuity, certain. How do you classify? Two types. How do you classify? Two types. Regular and it is immediate or due. We discussed value of an annuity. Any doubt in this? Value of an annuity? No. What are the two values of an annuity? What are the two values of an annuity? Some response from you. One is called as future value, other one is called as present value. Let me know how much memory you have when I was discussing the classes. In the future value, have I told you every year deposit or a loan problem? Let me know. Future value, is it a deposit problem or installment payment problem? Loan or deposit? Confused? Oh my God, you cannot get confused here. No, you all have to tell the same answer. I'll repeat. You have some money. You deposit 10,000 every year for 3 years. Third year end, what money you will get from the bank in future, called future value. Where were you? You cannot miss it. I told you so slowly that time. Okay, it's a deposit problem. Do you remember 10,000, 10,000, 10,000 with the interest? How much you get? Let me see. Let me see. With the interest, how much you get? You cannot tell hundreds of answers. 10, 10, 10, 30. Interest put together, third year end, what money banker will give you? 36,000. That is called as 36,000 is called as what? Dash, dash, dash. Future value. Super. To illustrate the loan or to illustrate the present value, I told you, you are all in need of money. I have given you some amount, some new notes I given you wrapped up, and I given you put in the bag. Is that right? Okay. And I told you pay 10, 10, 10, 30,000, which is inclusive of interest. I will not give you just like that free. No money is going to come to you free. Remember, in this world, no free meal is available. No free meal in this world. You will not get like just like that. There will be a cost. So I am adding you interest part. Okay, it's inclusive. 10, 10, 10. Inclusive 30,000 you repaid. Question will come, how much you took today? How much you took today? That what is that today's money? What is that loan value? What is that present value? What was the money? It is 25,000. Okay, the question will not see, the some of you got confused. So present value, future value, no confusion. When did you take money? You take today. You take that 25,000 today, which will be repaid in future, but it's not future value. You have in hand that 25,000 today, no, or not after 3 years. So it's that 25,000 is present value. You will pay year on year, you will pay it and you close it. We discussed then, as it says here, future value of annuity and present value for. Do you remember these formulae? There are 5 formulae we discussed. Is that clear to all of you? Please single letter you type and let me know. Super. Future value of annuity regular, future value of annuity immediate or due, present value regular, present value immediate, finally present value of annuity perpetuity. Here the words, letters are quite different. P represents what? Periodical payments. N represents number of installments. It is not number of years. I represents interest rate in decimal per installment, not per annum. That's why some of the problems are monthly. You invested for 2 years. I did not take N2. I took 2 into 12, 24. FV, future value, PV, present value. Then I told you in this chapter, hope you remember this diagram, 3 questions should come to your mind. Any money given to you, you have to ask, what is the first question? Is that money now? Very good. Then you call that as what? You call that as hello, present value. Is that money each year? You call it as what? You call it as each year money, periodic payment, annuity, installment, I will call P. Is that money nth year end? Future you want to get, you call it as future value. Whatever rupees given, that should come to you 3. Now each year, is it nth year end? All of you right? Now, right, lazy boys and girls. Now each year nth year end. I'm checking, no response from you. Hello. Each year nth year end. These 3 questions should flash to you, otherwise you go wrong. Super, great. Just to provoke you, I am just telling you, lazy boys and girls. You are not lazy boys and girls. You should be excited in class. No, you should not sleep in between. No, that's why I'm telling you in between. All right, coming back, we discussed problems on future value. After that, we entered into a sinking fund concept. Sinking fund, I told you to remember. You will never forget, no? What wife tells to husband. What are the two words, two letters? Two letters. Re. Hello, hello. You will never forget this. How can you forget it? What is that re is about? First re, what wife tells to husband. Re. What is the first re? Repaying, replacing asset. Some of you get confused here only. Replacing asset. Other one is repaying liability. That's where the sinking fund concept comes in. We discussed whenever sinking fund concept comes in, we have to know it is future value of annuity regular because period ending. There is an assumption, okay? We did not discuss that all. If not given, will you take annuity regular or otherwise? Regular. Excellent. We worked out after this present value of annuity, and basically all the loan problem comes as it mentions here in your theory. Mentions in your theory. Generally loan problem because you take loan today and you will repay later. So today you will take lump sum money. We worked out the problem on present value of annuity regular and annuity due also. For due or immediate, you have to make an extra fitting. Tell me what is that extra fitting in the formula? Extra fitting in the formula 1 plus I. Super. And I worked out, I told you to work a problem on a hire purchase and how it comes, all that we discussed. We discussed today present value of annuity perpetuity P by I. We also discussed to you there is a problem of present value of annuity perpetuity is little complicated endowment problem we worked out. Then we discussed present value of growing perpetuity. The perpetuity is not same. The money will increase every time. We have taken it is I minus G. G is the new thing. G stands for growth, not Gopi. All right. G stands for growth. Super. Student, post this we have to, and I told you this again comes to you in the part of this annuity perpetuity and growing perpetuity will come in the CA intermediate in the topic called as cost of capital and also a chapter called as decision making. So I will no, it is a dividend policy, cost of capital and dividend policy. And now we have to discuss the fourth area. So 4 parts. The fourth area is all about decision making problems. This is the next thing which we are discussing. Hello, all of you are there with me. Post the discussion after the break, decision making problems you are considering, I will explain to you. Shall we have one 5 minutes break? And it's very important. Remember, next what I am discussing important to you in the new syllabus and also important to you in the CA intermediate. Hello, all of you are there. You have to have chai and come today. Can all of you go and have one chai and come? I will give the puzzle, that you don't worry. A puzzle time. Yeah. 9:35. I will give you exactly on 10 minutes break. But the next part when you come, you have to be very, very fresh and you have to listen. And that carries to you very good weightage here as well as in the CA intermediate. Of course, in the final. So shall we take you one small puzzle? Let us see. All of you, I'll write some letters on the. Okay. You have to take odd man out. One letter which you have to remove from this. Have we discussed this any time earlier? No. Super. Excellent. So all of you are excited to work then. And who there could be many people may answer. Let us see who is going to answer first, and then I will ask you why also. Okay. Then who tells the correct one will get the chocolate. Right. Super. One letter is Y. One letter is T. One letter is V. One letter is B. One letter is C. One letter is T, V, B, C, M. Super. Then I am writing I. I'm writing A, I'm writing U. In this one, okay, the question is, I have written some letters here, Y, T, V, B, C, M, I, A, U. One cat question long back. Let us see who is going to answer. Which one letter you want to remove in this, which is not going to come in a proper meaning or proper order or something like that, which is not in this particular order, which one you remove? Okay. Many have tried well, but the final goes to M. The reason is Y, it is WHY, Y. T, T break. V, WVV. B, B, B. C, SEER, SEA. M does not have a M, that does not have a meaning there. I, it is this. I means I am so and so. A tree. That means single. U, YOU. So the right answer is M. So next part, all of you write down part 4. Decision making. Part 4, decision making. All of you write down. All of you write down. Part 4. Have you written? Have you written? Part 4, decision making. Okay. Students, please note. Please do note the entire time value of money, what we learned so far. How exactly we are going to use it? Some disturbance. All of you are able to hear me? All of you are able to hear my voice very clearly? Okay. So part 1 was time value of money, the meaning and other computations. Part 2 is about SI. Part 3 is about CI. Oh, part 1, okay. Part 1 includes of SI. Okay. Part 2 it is CI. Part 3 it is annuity. In the part 4 we are discussing the decision making. Please observe or please make a note that, just close, please make a note that, yeah, depreciation is a part of your compound interest logic only. What exactly this decision making is about, how it is going to come, I'm going to take an example. In this one you have to be really have to understand the TVM, time value of money. Let us decision making problems we look into, then I will explain you with an example how we should apply it. Concept 28 continued, the concept number. It says decision making problem, one type given as purchase versus lease. You have two options in front of you. Should I go for purchase? Should I go for lease? Lease is basically long term rentals which you have to pay for many years. Machine can be, question number 41 on your screen, all of you are there, listen very carefully. Machine can be purchased for rupees 50,000 or it can be taken on annually lease action is preferred. Interest rate is 18% per annum. Is it leasing? Is it buying? Is it both are equal? Is it none of this? One interesting thing I will tell you. There are many instances in your CA foundation multiple choice. They cannot give 4 options. They have to give only 2. Hello, all of you are there. They have to give only 2. But to make you 4, they will give you 2 more just like that. That is generally it is delete. Example, the following statement is true, false. Correct, no? Partly true, that means partly false also. That's wrong. That way that cannot. Therefore, you have to decide between true and false. Just example I'm giving you. You have to be little careful there, whatever the question is given. Here you have to say that I will go for lease, I will go for both. I will go for buying. You cannot say both are equal. And none of this cannot be the answer in that case. So is only between what and what? All of you answer. It's only between what and what? All of you answer quickly. It's only between leasing and buying. Correct. That's all. There's nothing else. So it's only one or the two answers. Okay. I'll just tell you how to go about it. Just apply your common sense and let me know. If you buy the machine, you answer my questions and please you answer my questions and we'll come to some conclusions. If you buy the machine, how much you have to pay? Tell me. 50,000. Super. Any doubts so far? No. If you go for lease, if you go for rental model, you have to pay 14,000 for how many years? 14,000 for how many years? 4 years. One thing you have to note, the life of the machine also 4 years. Listen carefully. Machine life also 4 years. Don't assume that machine will come for many years. Only for 4 years I will use and I will give back. No. Life of the machine also 4 years. Okay. So I'll repeat. If you buy, you will go pay 50,000. If you go on leasing, if you go for lease rentals, you have to pay 14,000 every year for 4 years. Tell me how much you pay in leasing altogether. Fast. 14,000 every year for 4 years. 56,000. Tell me, as a rational thinker, will you go for buying or will you go for leasing? Which is cheaper to you? In buying you pay only 50, whereas leasing you will pay 56,000. Which is cheaper to you? Fast. All boys and girls, I will not leave. Almost 100 answers I have got, but still another 50-60 students are still thinking so much. Super. So as you said, buying is the answer. Super. Shall I tell my answer? Do you think if this was such a stupid question they would have asked you? Definitely no, right? All right, definitely no. That is not the way to look at. Do you think this jujubes, even a school fellow will tell 56,000 paying better or 50,000 paying better? Everyone will tell 50,000, but wait and they will ask you in CA foundation. All right, that's where I want to tell you. That's where you have to understand much deeper than this. If whatever your logic is right, 50,000 here, 14,000 for 4 years, 56,000, that also right. You pay more in leasing. Don't go for leasing, go for buying. No, whenever you receive your heartbeat, will go good, will be good. Whenever you pay, your heartbeat will increase like anything. You always want to pay less. Yes, no. Okay. You have very varied reasons, interest, etc. I'll explain you. I just tell you why it is so. I'll give you some beautiful examples. Leasing versus buying. All of you are there with me? All of you are there with me? Okay. Assume this day 2020. I'm going to give you 10 lakh. Listen example carefully. I'm going to give you how much? How much I'm going to give you? 10 lakh, right? Everyone agree? Okay. Happy? Okay. Is it free, my dear? Is it free I will give you? No, never. Correct, no? Very good. Sumana tells, wish that it could have been free. Okay. Nothing you will get free. And you should not get free, no? There is why you should get free. All right. Yogesh Pai says, now not happy. Okay, no problem. Correct. Assume that Prabhu Aditya says hard-working person, so it will be okay. Super. Let us consider you will be after 10 years after becoming chartered accountant and you settled in your life and good position, you came back and you will give back to me 10 lakh 1 rupee. Hope that you will come back. Huh? Let us assume you came back and you're given 10 lakh 1 rupee. 10 lakh plus 1 rupee. Tell me what is my profit? What is my profit? What is my profit? 1 rupee. Excellent. Idiots. I have given you 10 lakh today. After 10 years, you come back and give me 1 rupee extra and you tell that I am in profit. Don't you think I am in utter loss? How come is the question, right? Remember, is that 10 lakh and 10 lakh 1 rupee is more important? Hello, hello, hello. Is that 10 lakh and 10 lakh 1 rupee, is that comparison? No way you can compare that. Can anyone tell me why you cannot compare 10 lakh and 10 lakh 1000? 10 lakh is today, right? You will pay back me after a year, after 10 years. It's a huge gap. And even if you take a GGB 5%, very small 5% interest rate, I would have earned 5% on simple interest, forget compound interest. 5% on 10 years will come to 50%. I should have got 10 lakh 50,000, even at a 55% rate. Even anywhere 5% I will get. So 10 lakh plus 50% will give me 15 lakh. I should have got 15 lakh and you give me 10 lakh 1 rupee and say that I am in profit. That's the way you are going wrong. New thing I will tell today. How much? Fast, boys and girls. Today you are learning really new thing. I will test. Fast, boys and girls. This is all you learnt in your schooling. 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 9, right? No, 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 no. Surprise? You should not tell 9 now after this chapter. You should tell 2 plus 3 plus 4 when? Not 234. 2 rupee you receive, 3 rupee you receive later, 1 year later, 4 rupee you receive another year later, then I cannot say 9. It's not 9. If 2 rupee, 3 rupee, today 2 rupee I received, another friend of mine given 3, and today only I received, then it is 9. Huh? 2 plus 3 plus 4 is not 9. New definition to all of you. 2 plus 3 plus 4 is much less than 9 because you receive in future. Is it interesting? Am I making sense to all of you? One fellow told me, Gopal sir, 9 plus 5 is equal to 14. I told you are an idiot. Both 9 and 5 whether receive today, no. You receive after 1 year, after 2 years, then it is much less than 14. Am I making sense to you? Am I bringing the concept of TVM to your mind? How much value I will find out. But are you able to understand what exactly I am telling you? Okay. I'll give one more interesting example. I told you this example when I started with. You all learnt 2 is greater than 1. You all learnt 2 is greater than 1. But if I look at this example, 1960 ka your granny's 1 rupee, 2020 ka your 2 rupee. Tell me, is this 2 rupee more than that 1 rupee? Is this 2 rupee more than that 1 rupee? No, why then? You know 2 is greater than 1. No. 2 is greater than 1 on which date? Is that both are 1960? Yes. Both are 2020? Yes. But one is 1960, one is 2020. Then you cannot say my 2 rupees more than my granny's 2 rupee. You can't say like this. Nanna duddu, nanna ajjiginta jasti anta. Nimma ajji 1 rupee is more valuable than your 2 rupee today. Hello, am I making more sense to all of you? Please respond to me. Single letter yes. Don't scold me because I said you are ajji. Okay. With lot of affection, I always call ajji. Okay. Understood? There's a bigger lesson that you have to do it. So you cannot consider that straight away 1 rupee and 2 rupee. I'll give one more nice idea. Long back where I used to do the classes, CA coaching classes. There's a piece of land. A piece of land. I wanted to buy that. It was a very long period I have been using a lot of footfalls. One interested to buy that land. There were 10 cents. The measurement here, the sites at the south part of Karnataka is in cents. So 1 cents will cost, I thought it is 5 lakh, 6 lakh. That was the pricing I considered. But my owner is a very different kind of fellow. His name is Babanna. What Babanna is saying, Gopal, you buy it. No, there are many people, many people wanted to buy that. Final pricing not happened. My landlord owner Babanna one day, where I used to pay that rental to him every month, nominal rent that time. And he always used to tell Gopal, you buy it, no, it's for you. You have been there for a long time. Somehow I decided not to go for it because of his nature. And after a long time, one day when he was telling, I told Babanna, we will buy it. You are ready to buy it. And I wanted to know the pricing part, at what price it will be fetching. So finally he told, Gopal, for others and all I will charge very high. It's very near to the road, etc., etc., etc. And he finally told, Gopal, you are just like my brother. You buy it, I will give you a damn cheap price. He told me 10 cents. I was very shocked and surprised. 10 cents and at the rate of 10 lakh per cents. For a timing, my heartbeats are almost stopped. I was stunned and shocked. It's almost a crore rupee, right? It is not now. It's much long back. Right. And for timing, I was I was almost into coma for some time. Right. 1 crore is a big money. Then somewhere I could cool down and little learning, teaching all about various students. I told, give me half an hour. I'll come back with my calculations. Went back, I worked out, and I told him, listen carefully. This is my offer. This is my owner's offer. GKB, Gopal Krishna Bhatt offer was like this. I told him, boss, you don't do like this. I told him after some time, after half an hour, I given even Google response to him. I told him, Babanna, you don't pay very less 10 lakh per cents. This land is much costlier than, it's my dialogue to him. I'll give much more than that. He was very happy. Counter offer, very good. He was very happy, very excited. I told Gopal, what is your offer? Please let me know. We'll close it today. I told him, sir, I will pay you 1 lakh per month. Listen carefully. For 10 years. This is my offer. 1 lakh every month I will pay you for 10 years. And he taken the calculator. 1 lakh into 12 per annum, 12 lakhs into 10, 1.2 CR. He is offering me at 1 CR. I am counter offering to him at 1.2 CR. Do you think I'm a mad fellow to give extra money? Or do you think I'm damn rich to give him? Both the case, no, right? Super. Maybe, okay, all right. Tell me whether my offer, if at all you are the landlord, if you are Babanna, wouldn't have been attracted? Yes. Is it 1 CR better or 1.2 CR? Obviously, as anyone, would like to prefer 1.2 CR. But if you really look into this discussion, it is not so. This 1 CR, tell me when I have to pay. Today I buy 10 cents land at 10 lakh per cents. 1 CR, all of you tell me when I have to buy. I have to pay today. 1 CR now. But this 1 lakh every month for how many years, dear? It's for how many years? It's for 10 years. Do you all agree? 1.2 CR, even the today's value, if you look at 6 or 7 years, even if it doubles, you might have learned somewhere in the schooling, doubles in 6 or 7 years. Even if you take 10 years, if it is doubled together 1.2 CR, then today it is around 60 lakhs. All of you are there, all of you are there. My calculation are able to make it. So if it looks to you, sir, 1 CR, 1.2 CR is greater than 1 CR, definitely wrong. That is simple number computation. 1.2 CR in 10 years, 1 CR now, comparison is completely wrong. You cannot compare today's 1 crore with what you are going to pay in next 10 year curve 1.2 CR. And interestingly, you know what happened later? He was very happy. He wanted to sell off that property. But what he told is, Gopal, give me time till evening. I will come back. I'm almost sure I'm going to close this. In the second half, he went to another chartered accountant like me. Then that chartered accountant told, no, you don't do it. This 1.2 CR, what you are telling is not greater than 1 crore. Then he realized 1.2 CR is less than 1 CR. Finally, that did not take place, and even now it is still there. No one is going to buy it. Okay, what my point to all of you, the time plays a major role here, which probably you are all missing it. What happened in the leasing versus buying case? In the buying case, you have to pay 50,000 now. Whereas in leasing case, you have to pay 14,000 in next 4 years. Today's money cannot be compared with next some years money. That's what I said. Today 9 and 2 plus 3 plus 4, whether it makes sense to you to make 9. Today you borrow from me 9 rupee and you will pay back to me in 1 2 rupee 3 rupee and 4 rupee next 3 years. Can it matches? No, it is not same. Today's 9 and is different from 2 plus 3 plus 4 in next 3 years. Hope all of you understood the logic behind my explanation. Tell single letter yes, no. Finally, conclusion, 50,000 in buying option you pay now, whereas in leasing you pay 14,000 in next 4 years. Correct comparison? No, it is wrong. So then you will rise. So how do you solve then? How do you solve? All of you let me know 50,000 for that option of buying. When you pay, quick. When you pay, if it is a buying option, when you pay, it is present. Can I call present value? Can I call present value? Yes. 14,000 what you pay in next 4 years cannot be compared because there is no proper comparison. Timing difference. I have to bring back and I have to know what is its present value. If I tell you like this, dear student, I'll give you a loan to you today. You repay me back 56,000 with interest. Can you tell me how do you work out present value? What is the today's value? It is installment. It is periodic payment. You know n is equal to 4. You know I is equal to. What is the present value? Can you do it? What is the loan money? Can you do it? How do you do it? Formula. Present value of annuity regular. P by I 1 minus 1 over 1 plus I to the power n. Please let me know what is the value of P. First, what is the value of P? First, I will not answer. Quick, boys and girls, where are you? 14,000. N is equal to how many installment? 4. I is equal to interest rate. It is given in the question. It is given in the question 18%. Okay, it is given as 18%. Okay, some answer. 18%. You will get the answer. 56,000 with interest. Today you are taken loan. Is it more than 56 or less than 56? Is it more than 56 or less than 56? Remember that example, you wanted loan from me. You took some money, 25,000. You repay 10, 10, 10. Today's money, 25,000 is a loan without interest. 10, 10, 10, 30 includes interest. So tell me, is that money less than 56 or more than 56? 14, 14, 14, 14, 4 installment which includes interest because it is delayed. But today's value is more or less. Remember, in present value is less than the total of installment, no? Okay, flashback. All of you flashback. No, I should not get double answer. How can you get multiple answer? So please note. Example, you all wanted some money from me, right? That first example. Tell me yes or no. Yes. You all have to pay in 3 installment, right? Tell me how much each year you pay. 10,000. For how many years? 3 years. So 30,000, is it inclusive of interest? Whether interest is included in that? Yes. Super. Tell me then how much is your borrowing today? Today you take some money in your bag and you go. No, how much is the money you taken today? 25,000. Tell me 25,000 is present value, loan, no interest. This 25,000 is more than 10 into 3, 30,000 or less than that. You get confused. 25,000 rupees present value, is that money more than 10,000 into 3, 30,000? Is it more than 30 or less than 30? How come you tell multiple answers? See, I repeat, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. You repay all together 30,000. This includes interest. No. This includes interest. You have taken from me loan present value, how much? 25,000. Tell me this answer is present value is n into p, 30,000. Is it this 25, is that money today, is it more than 30 dear or less than 30? I will not answer. You have to, where are all of you? I don't know why is the confusion. No, simple question I'm asking. I agree, we cannot compare, that I know, but now in that example which I told, simple, no. Tell me how much you borrowed from me. I will repeat again 100 times. How much you borrowed from me? 25,000. You repaid 10,000 into 3, 30,000. Loan money, is it present value? Loan money, is it present value? Yes, no. Yes. This 25,000. I know that, you don't worry. Simple number wise, just number wise. Today 25, you repay 10, 10, 10. Present value should be less than the 10 into 3, 30,000. Okay. Yes. So what I am telling you is, in the previous working, you have to work out the present value. When you do present value, 14 into 4, 56,000, which is inclusive of interest you have to take. If you bring the present value, it is less than that. How much is less than that? One number you tell me. One less than that. One some number. Less than 56,000. Any number, just randomly. Assume it is 50,000, 52,000. Leasing 14 into 4, 56,000 what you take. Today's date, it is not 56, it is just 52. Buying wise, how much you are paying? 50. Leasing wise, in this example, how much you are getting? Though you pay 14 into 4, 56, present value is just 52. You pay more in leasing, less in buying, go for buying. Suppose if it comes 42,000, answer, example. There in buying, you pay today 50. In leasing, you pay 14 into 4, 56,000. But today's date, it is as equal to 42,000 if you get. Tell me, then which is better? Which is better? Leasing is better. So finally depends on comparison of the loan buying value, buying the immediate payment, present value there, direct. Here it is not present. Here they are given periodic payment and installment. You bring back the present. Both present you have to compare. No comparison of present to next 4 installment. Wrong comparison. Present, you bring present, you compare. Hope all of you understood. So I will solve it now. Then we will break today's session. So you write lease versus buying. Solution, you have to write along with me as I write decision making. All of you writing decision making are of two types. No, are not of two. There are two options. Option one, buying. Option leasing. Hope all of you are taking along with me. Single letter yes, no, so that I can make out your understandings. Super. Here, pay rupees. How much in buying? How much you have to pay? 50,000. Can you tell me when you pay 50,000? Today you want to buy the machine. Today you have to pay. So I will write now. Taking the other side, I will not write here. I will write year one, means 1 year. If you buy that machine, if you take on lease rent, Y1 means year one. Note down. Year one rent 14,000. Year 2 14,000. Year 3 14,000. Year 4 14,000. Can I compare with this and this? No, I cannot compare, because one is now, one is in next 4 installments. What is my first step? All these which you pay in next 4, I have to bring back present. I have to work to the present. Why present? 50,000 you pay present. Therefore, I have to bring present comparison. Therefore, my formula will be present value annuity. Any doubt so far? Why it is annuity? Is that 14,000 once? No, rental every year, 4 times, every year same money. So annuity. When you pay, year beginning or year ending, we don't know. What we will assume? Year ending. So if it is year ending, what you should do? Regular. Formula P by I 1 minus 1 over 1 plus I to the power n. Work along with me. 14,000 periodic payment or periodic rent by interest rate. Can anyone let me know what is the interest rate? What was the interest rate in the question? 18%, 0.18. It is given in question 18%. 1 minus 1 over 1.18 to the power 4. 14,000 divided by 0.18. 1 minus, all of you use calculator and let me know 1.18 to the power 4. Answer. 1. What is your 1.18 to the power 4? Is it 1.938777? Okay. 14,000 by 0.18. 1 minus, all of you use calculator and let me know what is this answer. 1 divided by 1.938777. What is your answer? 1 divided by this. 1 divided by 1.93. Anaga CG, you went somewhere wrong. It is wrong calculation. Okay. 0.515789. I think then rest all you can do. Deduct, multiply 14 divided by 0.18. Last answer. Correct. Last answer. Leha Abraham tells it is around 43,780. She tells. Ashwin says, okay. Is it that 1 minus this into this? Okay, many of you are getting 37,660. Okay. Leha, I think you might have gone somewhere wrong little. You have to rework again. Okay. 37 you get, that's okay. 659, 660, all those are okay. So tell me, look at here working. Look at here working. In buying option, you pay how much today? Fast, fast, fast. Your response is quick. 50,000. In leasing option, you pay 14 into 4, 56,000. But today's value, I told you, present value where there is no interest, no. Today's value is less than that. How much is less than that? You got 37,660. Slight differences, please don't worry. Can you tell me 37,660, is it present value? Is it present value? Is it present value? Is it present value? Yes. I'll write present value. Tell me, earlier we could not compare it. Now can you compare? Now can you compare? Because that also now present, this also now present. I'll use a better word now only. So finally 50,000 cannot be compared with next 4-year money. Bring back now. This is 50. This is 50. How much? 37,660. What you said, no? 14,000 for 4 years. 56,000 you pay in next 4 years is equal to just 37,660 today. Are you there? Are you there? Are you clear with what I said? Write down conclusion. Less payments in which option? Less payments, actually outflow in which option? Less payment in leasing option. In present value terms, that means both, if you take the present values, then you pay less money in leasing. Always you prefer to pay less, therefore best option is leasing. All of you quickly conclude which one is preferred. Leasing is preferred. I repeat my discussion once again. It is a comparison of buying versus leasing. In buying you have to pay 50,000 now, whereas in leasing you have to pay 14,000 for next 4 years. Here to here, no comparison, wrong comparison. I cannot compare, as you said, 50 and 56, because 50 now, 56,000 next 4 years, no comparison. That's why we took the present value of it. When you do the present value, you will come to know that all periodical payment, installment, etc., that 14 into 456, now today it is less than that. That is 37,660. So when you compared, we came to know in today's date, present value date, the leasing involves lesser payment. You said no, 14, 14, 14, 14. Today's date, if it a lump sum money you want to pay and you don't want to pay each year, then you pay just 37,660. Here you pay 50, here you pay 37,660. Both comes for 4 years, then lesser payment is there only in leasing. Option is leasing. Okay. So finally to conclude, leasing is a better option. Okay, that's all, and I hope all of you understood the discussion. And tomorrow I'll come out with more problems, and tomorrow is the last session of your time value of money. And please, all I request all of you to go for one more problem in this. Similar, you have one more problem. Yeah, all of you have to work and come. That problem is again on leasing. Okay, once you work out that, I'll be able to discuss the next continuing problems here. Okay, we worked out all this. Yeah, we worked out 41st question. You all have to work 42nd question, which is similar to the 41st question, and you come back. Next, I will discuss more interesting concepts involved in this decision making.